How
Hello,
you doing?
Pastor. Hello. Greetings, greetings, greetings.
Greetings, greetings. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Good to see you too. How is the family doing? How is everybody doing?
We're all doing well, thank God. Um,
Yes.
this coronavirus allow my kids to be home from
Mm-hmm.
college, doing work from home via internet. But they are
Yep.
through now with school for this year, thank
Uh-huh.
God. And eldest son is in Jamaica doing similar work through
Oh,
internet.
okay. That's Emmanuel.
That's Emmanuel. Yes.
That's right. Mm-hmm. So, how you guys coping otherwise? Because one of the things I wanted to ask you before we get into all the proceedings is that you guys had a narrow escape from that tornado, that heavy wind. How did that work out for you guys?
Uh, I'll explain it this way.
Uh-huh.
The morning early to go to work, and
Yeah.
I drove in the rain. It didn't occur to me that we were going to have a direct hit from the
Yeah.
tornado. When I was at work, Nadine, my
Hmm.
wife, called me and said, that this was what was happening. But
Yeah.
thanks be to God,
Hmm.
lives were spared, the house is intact,
Yep.
and only a few trees were
Hmm.
blown down, and that we got fixed immediately. So to
Wow.
God be, we did the cleaning up. Took a day or two to
Hmm.
get totally back to normal. But
Wow.
grateful to God. We are
Um,
grateful
God is good, man. God is good. God is good. I'm
all the time.
telling you. That-
Mhm.
I'm telling you. So how is my good cousin Nadine doing? How is she doing? She all right and
She's
well?
great. She's fabulous.
That's
She
good.
is doing an excellent job
Hmm.
on both fronts at
Yep.
school.
Hmm.
Academically, she's a math teacher,
Right.
teaching and 11th grade, even 12th grade students.
All
But
right.
and the part of the church is doing a tremendous job with the children.
That's
She has
good.
Facebook live ministry for kids because, as you
Hmm.
know, most of the services that they have on Facebook that I encounter on
Uh-huh.
Facebook services that is more geared
Yeah.
towards an adult audience or youth audience, but
Hmm.
she allow her ministry to be for the children,
That's
and
it.
most time they are the ones that are left out, and they too can be engaged um,
Yes.
things religious, things spiritual. So she's engaging the kids not only
That's
at also I would say in a more global
yeah.
front when
That's
she goes
it.
to Facebook.
I'm telling you, I've seen a couple of the live videos that you are party that they put on that they host, and I was actually listening to one, and I saw her is her acting and her skills and how she actually get her point across to the kids, and the
Yeah,
way she actually do it is very exciting, very exciting. I think I
you,
mentioned if she was my Sunday school teacher when I was younger, I would have probably become a pastor.
uh,
Very good, very
it's good.
well, very well. Yeah. So
And
we're moving on to you now. I want to take you back. We're gonna go back in the past. Not too
mhm.
far back, because you're still young. You're only 22.
I, I wish.
Yeah, we won't take it too far back, but I want to when you take me back from when you actually started your journey as a minister.
Okay. I think it would have been remiss of me if I didn't briefly look at when I got saved. I got saved at the age 10,
Yeah.
but I was baptized until I was 15 because back
Oh,
then, many people, including members of my family, thought
yeah.
that I was too young and wasn't able to keep the Christian faith.
Okay.
Um, and so it was when I was 15 going into 16 that I
Yeah.
was baptized. But I was still a
Okay.
Christian, still living
Mhm.
Christian life with
Yeah.
all its challenges and difficulties. I, remain true to my God and to my
Yeah.
faith.
Hmm.
I answered a call for ministry at a youth camp in Green Island, at the Green Island Secondary School in Hanover.
Okay.
I was about 17 then, 17, when I answered the call for ministry.
Wow.
And the year I entered ministry, not yet fully 18, I entered ministry at the Caribbean Wesleyan College. It was a 4-year program that I did for diploma. Yes, the pastoral and study was for 4 years. Now, for a degree there, I think 3 years. But for a diploma there, at my time, 4 years. Intense, intense work. Yeah. And,
so 7 years in total, or?
Pardon me?
It's 7 years in total?
No, I'm saying that they have condensed it.
Okay.
But also make the 3 years to be a degree program. In my time, it was just a diploma. But by now, well, now I have my master's and trying to pursue doctoral work. But at that time, when I entered college, I think it was a 4-year program for just a diploma, not a degree, a diploma.
No, that's a long time.
That's a long time, but it's also a reflective time.
Yeah.
A time of introspection, time of prospection.
Yeah.
A time you look within and search yourself and know that this is what God has called you for and into.
Exactly.
The challenge, obviously, at that time, at that age, would have been you see your peers advancing in the professional field and earn gainfully their honest living because they have gone through traditional colleges or through direct workplace, gotten promotion and very well. And so you sit in the 4 years and making comparison. But in that, you know, my soul was at peace, my spirit okay, and I felt within me that this was what God has called me into. This was what He has called me into. And He has proven to me a journey of 4 years of only academically preparing myself, but also practically, because we have what we call student evangelism or student outreach, where we will go out in the community, more so during Easter, and spend some time doing ministry for 2 weeks. And of course, when you go back to your home church, you are engaged in ministry. And during the summer, which was excellent, kudos to Jennifer Mullins and Reverend Jennifer Mullins, great woman of God, great pastor still in the Wesleyan Church. During summer, she will take all Western Jamaica district students and bring them into camp and let us work as counselors in camp. And persons who is in charge of the devotion in the morning for your dorms. And that also helped to build us as we go along. So kudos to her. I'm not sure what it is like after I leave, or after Jennifer Mullins leave as the president for the youth department for that district. I don't know what it is like. I'm saying in my time, you know, the mechanism was there to build and to solidify your faith in not only in a theoretical way, but also in a practical way. And after 4 years, I went to Ginger Hill Wesleyan Church, Wesleyan Holiness Church in Hanover. That's my first pastorate. And a matter of fact, I began pastoring in my final year at school. The January, I went out and I spent maybe 7 months or so, or 6 months or so at Ginger Hill. I leave Ginger Hill on the 14th of August, 1992. Patrick, where I spent 13 years in the Patrick as a pastor. By then, your uncle, the late Reverend McAtee, may God bless his soul, and may his soul continue to. He was sent to Belize as a missionary, he and his family. So
Okay. Yeah, I remember that.
yes, Nadine also joined them in
Mm-hmm.
Belize, August of '92. And
Yes.
August 92, I went to um, Knockpatrick to be the pastor there in Knockpatrick, where I spent 13 years. And then in
Wow.
'94, Nadine returned
Uh-huh.
to join, and we got married and
Beautiful.
joined me in
Beautiful.
ministry in Knockpatrick. And
Yeah.
there she did a tremendous job.
Uh-huh.
If you the people and engage them in conversation, they'll tell you she
Yeah.
was the pillar of strength in my ministry and still is.
Yeah.
When it comes to children ministry, she was authentic,
Mm-hmm.
she was real, she
Yep.
was practical,
Mm-hmm.
she was lively, and
Yeah.
she was engaging. So the children love it. And the young people also.
Mm.
She had an excellent ministry there with them.
Yeah.
And so after that, she became the district director for
Oh,
children. Yeah,
I
she
didn't
was a
know that.
district director, yeah, for the entire Wesleyan church there. And while I
Wow.
concentrated on building the work in North Patrick in terms of attendance, in terms of ministries, in terms of well, all areas. We
Yes.
all encourage young people to do well because we believe that our ministry that God has called us into is not
Uh-huh.
about preparing people for heaven, but
Mm-hmm.
preparing to live now. You know, how do they live now? And
Exactly.
so encourage them that while they are Christians, they
Mm-hmm.
need to also be academical. So we will encourage them, go to
Yes.
school, do well in
Mm-hmm.
school, and we push them further. At that same time, while doing ministry in Knockpatrick, I was now pursuing my
Mm-hmm.
degree at Jamaica Theological Seminary in Kingston, and
Okay.
employed as a guidance counselor at the Winston Jones High School. And
Okay.
so being employed as a counselor and being a pastor, it
Yeah.
so helped me. I bring that knowledge. I
Mm-hmm.
brought it right there at the North Patrick Wesleyan Holiness Church and encourage
Right.
young people, and even
Mm-hmm.
young people that weren't academical, but
Yeah.
Jamaica government has put in place something, the Heart Trust NTA, where
Mm-hmm.
people can find a skill and also be certified in that skill. Not just find a skill at Heart Trust NTA, no,
Mm-hmm.
but you leave with a certification that you
Right.
certified in that area. And so we'll encourage young people that they
Yes.
should not, if they think that they are not the person that can do the theoretical work well and go to a
Mm-hmm.
traditional university or college, they should
Yeah.
go to Heart Trust NTA. And still, I would recommend people to do that in Jamaica and certify. Can you imagine if you
Yes.
have people in your congregation who are certified mechanics, certified electricians, and can show that here's my certification? You
Mm-hmm.
know, people I think would be more want to employ them or want to ask them to do tasks or work for them
Yes.
because they have some things to show that I am, skilled in this area that I am asking you to employ me in, or I am
Mm-hmm.
saying I can do work for you in. So we encourage people like that. And so thanks be to the ministry grew
Yeah.
tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
There, 19 well, in 2005, in 2000,
2005.
the Lord would have us go to Belize now
Oh, yes. I
as
think I remember that year.
yes, as
Mm-hmm.
missionaries. So where your uncle, your late uncle,
Mm-hmm.
started, did a tremendous job in Belize, laid an excellent foundation.
Yes.
We went in and built on that foundation that he laid. And then
Mm-hmm.
in 2017, after
Yes.
Reverend Nakiti, my father-in-law, my mentor, my
Mm-hmm.
friend,
Yep.
died.
Mm-hmm.
My mother passed away also that same year, August.
Ooh.
And so, we were in a transitional mood.
Most
Lord,
definite.
us even before then, that it was time for us to, take a break from Belize and do
Yeah.
further studies. And so I'd gotten through to do,
Okay.
program leading up for my doctoral. So I took up that challenge,
Yes.
and Nadine, out of the blue, God just provided for her a
Mm-hmm.
lady legitimate job, a job that she just walked into with everything that, prepared. As to God be the glory. And then while we process, we did some research online and learned of the Providence Wesleyan Church in the same area that Nadine got the job, and the same area where I was going to do work studies. And I said, wow, look at that. So I engaged that pastor. He was on a sabbatical. So his secretary communicated with me. And the rest is history. From I came in the December of 2017, I have been working with him till current. Yeah, I've been working with him till current. And then by 2018, he asked me to come on board and be not just an assistant pastor, but be there are two executive pastors. One that is responsible for leadership, which is me. I do leadership and have people under my portfolio in that regard. For example, spiritual formation falls under my portfolio, but we have a pastor for that area. She would report directly to me. We have what we call connection ministry, where as you come into, we believe that the church has to be holistic, as I said to you. So as you drive into the churchyard, not only should you see an attraction, but you must also see a people who is willing to greet you, people who will accept you for who you are, and to show you the love of God.
Of course.
As we take Providence, love on people. So we have people who will come to Providence, and once they come to Providence, they will tell you they don't want to go back. That's it. That's their church.
I'll have to come and visit, man, when all this is over. Definitely.
Please, you need to. And we have facility here to facilitate. Because we're living at the man's. We refer to it as the big house. And it's really a big house. And so we have the third floor that we make available for when visitors come. They can stay there. Which is fully have rooms up there for them to stay. So we look forward to having anytime they want to come. And then we have apart from connection ministry, where we connect people to Providence when they come in. Because one challenge with church today, modern church, is that you come to church, but they don't feel connected.
That's right.
How to be connected. They might like the church, but they don't know how to be connected. So we connect them. Once you come, we connect. We have there's someone who is responsible for media and for our newsletter going out, and that falls under my portfolio too, the media ministry.
That's it.
The children ministry falls under my portfolio, which Nadine is the director for. All other ministries which we have where people is in charge of, they are part, but Nadine is the only director for the children. Because she says she don't see herself being called to be a pastor. But of course, being a pastor's daughter and also being a pastor's wife, she's tremendous. She's tremendous. She's tremendous. If you ask me, she's operating with the gifts as a pastor. If you ask me. And if you look at her that you have observed online, she's operating as a gift as a pastor. She really has a pastor's heart. But she that's what God wants her to do, and to say that's not what. God is the one who is in charge, and God is the one who tells us what we do. And what we do, we just work with God. Because even though I am the executive pastor, God, the pastor, is the pastor, is in charge.
Most
and so
definitely.
we have to listen to him as he gives directives. And then, of course, we have what we have also a coffee counter where people will come. If you look at our ads, because we since COVID, we are back to service for the first time tomorrow. And but we will have a coffee bar, a coffee counter for everyone to go to this time. Why? Because we still want to observe. Manuel, my son, said physical distancing, not so much social distancing, because people come into church.
Because you still have to interact with people at some point.
There you go. So what we don't want is that people touching the cups and giving to people. So we say to people, you can take your water, but we also have water there for you too. You know, so if you didn't take your water, we will provide water for you that you can just go and take on your own without we have to hand it to you. We also going to let people sanitize their hands.
Of course.
Ask if you want to. If you don't feel comfortable, fine. We're not mandating that to you. We're so simply saying that, you know, you can still observe that. We're going to have 3 services, and each service lasts for 45 minutes to an hour. 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. And then Monday, not this Monday, the first Monday of June, which is the 7th of June, I think, we're going to our Monday night service. And it's going to be similar to that of our Sunday morning service with a small spin to it. We are targeting a particular age group.
Okay.
Age group that we found that sometimes are neglected in the traditional services, and that's the youths, the young people, in the millennial people. And so we want to speak specifically to them. And so on a Monday, we're going to have the same message repeated through video, and we're going to do a Q&A, question and answer, where they can engage in the message and ask questions about the message, you know, and ask questions that they might have in the context of the message. And so that's what we are planning to do for them. But that's what it is, you know.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, because this is one of the problems that even I personally myself have, not with my kids or anybody else, but I personally have that. When you go to a church, it still have that real old style tradition of service, you know, and it gets boring, it gets mundane. So what happens is you find that a lot of obviously younger people are not interested at all, you know, because
you're right.
The pastors or the people who are leading it, the bishops and everybody else, they're not moving with the times. You have to move with the times. And from what you're saying to me now, from what your church is doing, you're actually moving with the times, as you saying, targeting the younger generation, the youths who have always been neglected. And this is the reason why you find a lot of people are not going to church, because they say, lad, it's boring, I'm tired for sit down an hour, listen to the pastor, just a preach, you know, that sort of situation. And I find that problem as well when I do go to church. I'm sorry, pastor, I don't go to church every Sunday, but I still have my prayers at home. And this is one of the reasons why I said myself, I hardly reach out to these churches, because of the mundane situation that it is.
Sad. That's very sad. What we have done, I must tell you this, our slogan is Jeans Java Jesus. And let me explain to you. Even I myself, I wear jeans sometimes to preach.
Okay.
And just a casual shirt. That's how people. Why?
Okay.
So to people, it's not what you wear.
No.
Defined you so much is how God defined you. Is what is in. And Jean Java Jesus people come as they are. We reach out to them. We don't condemn people.
No.
We are concerned over their souls. And so we believe that while we should keep the message of Jesus Christ intact, we must change the methodology to fit the time. And that's what we have done. We have changed methodologies to fit the time, relevant. Because if we don't change the methodology, while the message to be intact, we are going to be irrelevant and redundant.
Exactly.
And you know, and so you'll find that, thanks be to God, the Providence Wesleyan Church here in Somerville, we are very relevant, very relevant. A matter of fact, we have 4 churches born out of Somerville. And the lead pastor, Wayne, is not selfish. I tell you why he's not selfish. We're living in a time where a lot of churches that you hear, mega churches, are becoming mega. expanding, 10,000,
Yes.
20,000 people attending.
Mm-hmm.
But what Wayne has done, as soon as the congregation reaches a certain amount,
Yes.
we mission and send out people with those
Okay.
to start a new work.
Mm-hmm.
So to God be the glory. He could have been selfish and said, look here, what we're going
Yes.
to do is have campuses, because some churches, when they get big, what they do is to have campuses. And so they just telecast their message, the same service, to these campuses. But Wayne said, we're not going to do that.
No.
We want people to develop their own autonomy. We want people to develop their own identity. We want people to understand that God called them also into ministry. And we want to feel that, yes, they too can develop their ministry and become a lead pastor.
Right.
And so that is why we at Providence, we have quite a number of pastors. As I said, lead pastor, we have 2 executive pastors. I am one of the executive pastors, but that we have about probably another 10 pastors, that fall. Each one of us, or each of us, have, as executive pastors, have people on the portfolio that carry out ministry, that report directly to us. So it's really a beautiful thing. And I would say, and let me be honest, people come real, because I've heard people saying it, that they never, that church was so nice. They never know that, you could serve God in this way. I said, what do you mean? And they said, they thought that they need a suit. They thought that they would have to walk a certain way when coming to church. And you can't laugh. You can't run broke. You can't do nothing. It's just, well, hear what God is, a serious man. And you get back home, But when they come, they feel the love. They can sip their coffee in church while we're having service, just the same. And believe we are growing. Thank God we are growing.
I can see. I can see. And as Orville, I've only personally witnessed a small snippet of your sermon way back in 2002 when Mom passed.
Wow.
When you were at the Baptist church.
Yes.
I don't even remember that. And when you did your snippet there.
Yes.
And from then, as I can see that you were obviously under some of the tuition of the late, Uncle Brian McKitty, and I can from there I can see the whole development from what you are coming from and from where you are coming from as a person, not just as a pastor. Because what I believe to be a quality pastor, this is just my own opinion, is your persona and your own personality and how you deal with people, how you respect people. Because there are pastors out there who don't respect their congregation. They don't have no respect for them. They only want to carry around a tin and place it in front of them and said, we need your contribution for whatever reason. Now, a lot of people are shying away, well, who I've spoken to anyway, are shying away from the ministry or from the churches because of the same situation where pastors are targeting parishioners for money. What is your take on that?
I'm glad you raised that. Here's our philosophy at Providence. Yes, we collect offering and tithe, but we say to people, all our announcement, we say to people, this is not a cover charge.
Right.
It's not a charge to you. It is just to sustain ministry. Now, every November, what we call Charity Month, we give away money. And I pluralize money. And when I pluralize it, it's to emphasize to our people and our community. There's a Hindu family. Let me just give you an example. For ethical reasons, I will not call his name.
No.
But I will just tell you this, his background, to show to you that the man is not even a Christian.
Right.
But he would allow us on every second Saturday to use his service station to do ministry.
That's good.
And one day, some gunmen went in and robbed him.
What?
Cash, yes, man, of cash, bail out all his money. And what we did that month when we heard is to collect a love offering for that month.
Yes.
And we love on him. He and his family broke down immediately.
Yes.
And
but of course,
in his speech, if this is not God, if this is not love, he don't know what. Because he didn't expect that we were going to do something like that.
Well, that's what the church is there for.
There you go.
That's basically what the church is there for. But as you might have seen, there's people, as I said, some of the pastors are exploiting, basically, literally exploiting their parishioners.
If they're doing that, it is very sad if they're doing that, because the ministry of Jesus Christ should not be for exploitation.
Right.
It is for challenge and for motivation, not only for this life, but also for the life that which is to come.
Right.
And that is, people, it has to be twofold. While I am preparing you for heaven, and that's my ultimate responsibility, I must prepare you how to live now.
Exactly.
How do you live now? And what we have found is just like during Corona, and I'm glad you raised that point. I said to Pastor Wayne, as the executive pastor,
right,
let's not worry, because we have a mortgage. We have a 20-acre property. We have a big, and that's where my family and I are living now. Huge house. That's why we refer to big house. That's downstairs is used office space because of the size. We can't, of course, furnish all of that. We don't have that money to furnish it. And if we had it, we wouldn't want to do that. When the people out there probably suffering and could take a little help. So we wouldn't do that. But I said to him, Pastor Wayne, this is what God deposited in my spirit. We don't need to worry about the church finances. What we need to do is to do what God called us to do. And God will do that. Let me tell you something. We never got out begging, forcing. Remember now, we can't pass a plate round to our people. But we got more than when we were even gathering in the church.
You see?
Because people said they saw our ministry. Because what we did, the school up here, and rightly so. Yes, it's America, but yes, it happens. Some kids, the only meal they will see or get is when they're at school. So during coronavirus, school buses will go out and give food to kids. But some are in, deep areas, rural areas. But what the church was to volunteer to take food to them. So we take food to them. We have what we call a box, my brother, a blessing box, a big box. One of these there, I'm going to video the property and just send it to you so you can see what I mean. A blessing box out by, we put tin food in it. Obviously, you can't put food there that will perish. Perish. So we put canned food there.
Right.
And no charge to people.
No.
We just say, if people are hungry, come. If you have excess amount at your home, once it's not expired, you can also put in there. It's not locked. It is always, just open the door and take out what you want.
That's it.
That's it. Open the door, take out what you want, and it's there. We don't even put it in the churchyard itself for you to say, oh, the gate was closed and we couldn't get it and we were hungry. No.
No.
And guess what? Every day, we have people who go and replenish it.
That's it.
Put more in. And people take, not to show that people are taking from it. If every day we have to be putting things in.
That's it.
So we have that when we reach out to the wider community. And why, you might ask me, why do you do it that way? It's because we are mindful that we have some people that will not come to the church.
Right.
For whatever reason. They will not come. But we also believe that as a church, it's our duty to put it in the reach of them. Not just to tell them about Jesus, but to demonstrate Jesus to them.
That's it.
So we call it a blessing box that they can go. And guess what? If they go and take all, it's up to them. It's not for me to judge. Maybe they're hungry. Maybe they have a big family to feed.
Exactly.
All we do is to put back more.
That's right.
And some people would say, oh, that's waste. No, it's not waste. It's not waste.
It's beautiful. It's a
We have
beautiful
to
thing you guys are doing.
has to be the church and
Uh,
show to the world that the church ecclesia, we are the call out. We're called out. That when God called us out, God called out the church out of the world and put us back into the world. I know it's a paradox. Yes, it's a paradoxical I just made. That what God did, save us from the world and put us back into the world to be salt, light to the world. So while I am in the world,
yes,
I'm not of the world, but I live in the world. But I don't live by the world.
No.
Therefore, I must be mindful that I was taken from the world and given back to the world. So I must remember where I'm coming from and reach out to the less fortunate. Not only to say, go to heaven. Can you imagine? And the Bible says, the saying to a hungry man, God, prepare to meet your Lord. And he's hungry. Wouldn't it be better to just feed him?
Of course.
Just feed him. And just say, God love you, and so do I. And leave it. I tell you that will be more to him.
Yes.
Than I'm trying to reach out to him and tell him about the love of, and you must get saved. Give your heart. Yes, that's my ultimate goal. But I believe that while doing that, I must also stick. And that's what we are at Providence.
Well, it's a diplomatic way of doing everything, in life. I see it. And one point I wanted to raise as well is what do you feel? How do you feel about these pastors who say they have healing powers? That I know it sounds a bit far-fetched or far out, but you always have these pastors coming across to their parishioners that once I touch you, I can heal your wounds, I can heal your illnesses, I can heal your sickness. What would you say about these pastors?
Let me be honest with you. I have nothing to say about them. It is not impossible. There are two I say to people of healing. It can be done through medical process where you go to you take some medication or you do an operation and gradually you're healed. It also can be done miraculously.
Yes.
And to be fair, some people have healing ministry. And it works. Others are just putting up a front. They don't really have it and they want to pretend as though they have it. But for others, it is real.
Yes.
I myself have laid hand on people and people testify of being healed immediately. Do I see myself as a healer? No. I wouldn't say I'm just God's humble servant. I think at that time, God might have used me to glorify himself at that moment. And I want to humble myself and don't say, oh, I can do this, I can do that. No, I don't see that. But at the same time, I am not going to criticize one who say that they have that ministry and who say that they have that power. I really don't have that power. That power belongs to God. But I know that I prayed for people and people experience healing before. I know that I prayed for people and the healing process was gradual. It took time for them to be healed. I'm not going to say it was my prayer alone that did it. I would say to you that countless people were praying and they themselves were praying for themselves too, I would imagine. And God intervened at some point in time and healed them. So it does work. It does work. But people are doing it for self-grandai. If people are doing it for to glorify themselves, if people are doing it to draw attraction to themselves, then shame them. It shouldn't be about that. It should be about be about Jesus Christ. It should be about the Holy Spirit. It shouldn't be about us. So nothing that I do, nothing that the Providence Church does, it's about him. We're mindful of the fact that we're only a vessel.
Yes.
It's about God. Can you imagine, honest, your pencil, if your pencil could talk, your pencil boasting, or your pen boasting, oh, I'm the one who passed that exam for him.
Yes.
You know, really? Like, really?
Yes.
Can you imagine? You know, your parents talking and said, I'm the one who passed that exam for him. Really? You know, you are only a
Really?
vessel. You're only an instrument that I
Yes.
use to do my exam. That's the same
Exactly.
thing. Pencil. I'm just the
Love it.
pen.
Love
And
it.
God
Love it.
is the one who is doing it. You know?
Yes.
But you know, the thing about it, yes, I can talk. Yes, I have a voice. But I am mindful of the fact that God is the one.
Of course.
Is the one who is doing it. So nothing that I do, and I say to Providence, that you know, churches would have taken glory out of this, go on television and make a big thing and show off, and people and say, oh, look at that man, you know, he's doing, you know, but we don't do that. But yet we're seeing the same things that people are talking about. We're having the same result, victory after victory after victory at Providence. But I will also tell you this though. Also seeing that people that we prayed for, that yes, some died, some did not get the healing. God did not hear? Of course, God heard. Even in this time, it's not everybody. Jesus raised from the dead. It's not everybody got healing. No, it's not everybody. There are some things that God is going to do, and this is why I take myself out of the picture and put God in it, because I don't want people to say, oh, Pastor Orville could not do it. No, I could not do it for sure. It's God. So when it is done, it's not me, it's him. And he will do it because he's sovereign the way it is necessary. For some people, he thinks that it is best for them to be called home to glory. And that's why we have debt. You know, my mentor, my friend, my father-in-law, my guide in ministry, you know, the one who bounces things off, my father-in-law, Makiti, he passed away, you know, of God, you know.
Yes.
Didn't he love God? Yes. Isn't he God? Yes. But God still called him home to glory. You know, that's how God works. Are we upset with God? No, certainly not. Because we know that to be absent from the body is immediate present with God in glory.
Right.
And out of that assurance, we know that he's with God in glory. And that's how God works. There are some people who tell you if you come to Providence that they were at death's door. And we prayed. And God brought them back. But yet, I will tell the truth. There are some that is gone home to be with the Lord. That's how God works.
There you go.
And I'm glad that you raised that question, because no church should give the idea as if the power is in the pastor. The power is in God.
Yes.
Is in God. Not in us, but in God. We're just a vessel. And I just want to be used by him. I just want to be humble myself so that God can be glorified. That when people hear me speak, they must see me, they must see God. I am just, can you imagine your mother or your father give you a message? And give the message as if it is yours? No. It's your give you that message. So when God does something, I can't take the glory. I have to give it to him. It's him.
Of course. To God be the glory. Definitely. Definitely. Wow. I'm telling you, Pastor Orville is brilliant. One more question before we move on a bit. What I was gonna, you know, it's almost elude me, you know. I was gonna say, we have people who, when they come to church, I'm just thinking about, sometimes I think about this, the skepticism of the parishioners themselves, how they sometimes are the one who put people off from coming to church, because you hear say, oh, them talking about Sister Mary's business or auntie business or uncle business, you know. How would you cap it in one to tell these people, forget this, we need...
This is how we deal with it at in our ministry. People with people anywhere you go. I would say to you that if you are going to put all your energy in just that one area of ministry, you are going to lose the big picture. And that's a distraction from the enemy, from the devil, for us to look at the picture. But what we do, we realize that if we allow people to develop relationship, gossip over, or gossip will be minimized. Maybe not over, but minimized. Let me use the right terminologies. You know, if you be engaged in a relationship, learn about people. And that is why I said when people come to Providence, we love on them.
Yes.
There's no time to gossip. There's no space for that. One thing that we also train people in is that you don't listen to it. And Providence, no, that's a rule. So when you come into a culture like that where people are not going to listen to it,
yes,
you know, people go and tell you straight up that no, we don't do that. If there's a problem, we go directly to the source and deal with it.
Of course.
So there's no there's no room for something like that. If you ask me, as I said, in every church it might be, but I want to be fair. I have never come across it here, where people are turned off. I hear people say they love it.
Yes.
What I'm hearing people saying is that there's so much love that they don't know how to handle it.
That's it.
That's what I'm hearing people saying. Is the other at Providence that we love on them too much. We engage them too much. One of the problems is that I hear people saying that we have, because I get feedback from people, and because we want healthy feedback, we want that feedback. And people said, I think I love it, you know, Providence. I love to come, but you guys engage us too much. You know, because what we believe is that everybody has something to offer. Right. You might come to Providence and you might think that you don't have something to offer. What we do is a ministry analysis of every person who comes in. So even if I'm talking to you, I'm analyzing what area of ministry you will best fit. Right. So even a bus driver that comes to a church, the minute oh, there we have a driver. In America, like anywhere else, Jamaica has that law too. If you're going to drive a bus to pick up passenger, you have to have a particular driver's license. Of course. So if the man has his license already, right away we know which ministry we can engage that person in. So I would say, feel comfortable, sir, that whenever you're ready, you know, we have this ministry that we can plug you into, you know, so you can participate within ministry. If you are an electrician, if you are a mechanic, we have church bus, we have things that we can engage you in. If you're a builder, we have things that we can work on. So we let our people be engaged and be practical and understand that every skill, if you only a domestic helper and can clean, the church needs to clean. The church has to clean. People come in a clean environment. Now it's COVID, to make sure that we spray down and sanitize the church every service. So in between, tomorrow we're having 3 services, and every service we have to sanitize the place. So if you are good at that, come on board. We want you. Yeah, exactly. So right away, people realize that it's a church that will engage you. Yes. And as I said, we don't emphasize money. Take it. Oh, money. I want your money and you're off. No, we don't do that. We let people. We have costs that we have to pay for. Huge mortgage that we're paying for. Right. The property. We have other bills that you have to pay. But we tell people it's not a service charge. It's not a cover charge. No. But just loving on people and giving back to people. People give us. People just give to the Lord. Just give to the Lord. That's it. I don't think. Open heart. I don't think that pastors have to use any kind of trickery, any kind of psychology, any kind of way out mechanism to get money. Just love and God people and build a relationship with them and let them see you working for God, and the rest will be history. Definitely. Most definitely. The rest will be history. So, are you guys thinking of any time going back to Jamaica, doing more ministry down there, or? I think its place, it will have its time. We are just vessels, as I said, to be used by God. For example, in your house, you might have 10, 20. I'm just putting a number hypothetically. Okay. Cups are plates in your house. But guess what? A plate can't say to you, use me this time. I want to do it this time. You use a plate as you seem necessary to do.
Yes.
We have spent some times in Jamaica, good times, great times.
Yes.
Yes, there were challenging times. Yes, there were difficult times. But I will say to you that the success weigh out the bad times. You know, the stories, the good times weigh out the bad times. Yes, there are rough times in ministry. But thanks be to God, as I said, I have a good mentor. God has provided for me an external job outside of the church to work. And so, as I said, I was a guide. I work at Alpart as a safety officer for Alpart. But that was, after a while, it was taking up a lot of time. And then I have to pull back. And then spend some more time in the church. And then the Lord provide a teaching job for me at Winston Jones, up to the time when I leave Jamaica to come to go to Belize as missionary. And then when I was in Belize, the Belize government employed me as a clinical counselor. Ministry of Human Development and Poverty Alleviation, to the time I leave to come to America.
Oh, that's good.
There you go. And right now, just today, I am signing up to do my license, to do a license in counseling. Because here you have to have a license to practice.
Most definitely.
So that's what I am going to definitely be doing. But God is good every step of the way. And so, you know, I just want to thank him, because I said everything, you know, goes to God. So if God wants us to go into Jamaica to do some ministry, to God be the glory. What we're trying to do, though, because that fall under my portfolio, is maybe after COVID, post-COVID. Post-COVID, we want to send out teams of people like to Jamaica or to do some work. And one of those mission groups, I might be on one, probably going down to Jamaica or going down to Belize. But I'm sure time will allow me to do some more ministry. And I will tell you this, I'm still engaged, because the Wesleyan church here is the same as in Jamaica. So I'm still a part. Yes, I'm still engaged with my denomination structure in Jamaica. A matter of fact, there's a church out in Portmore, Pioneer Work, that the guy is about to establish a building. And we will be participating in terms of giving him monetary contribution for that building. And so he wanted us to come down from January this year to do some ministry, but that didn't work out. So hopefully in the future we'll be going down to do some ministry with him there, and with other Wesleyan churches down there. We'll be doing some ministry with. So, but as to say, to go back to be full-time pastor down there, I am not sure. I'm not sure how God is leading in that direction, Sean. I know what God is saying now is that we're at Providence, and God is using us in a tremendous way here at Providence. After that, I'm not sure. It's up to God.
You just have to go, as you said, you have to go where God leads you, you know. And you have a very good journey from Jamaica to Belize, and now here, you know, there in the States. And you know, I admire you guys. I mean, every time I come on your page and look and I see the, you know, the positive that you guys are doing is just tremendous, you know. And it's good to know that I'm a part of this family. I'm a part of your family. And to know that this is what is.
We're happy that you're a part. We're glad that you're also a part, you know, that we're all family. God orchestrates.
But one thing, one thing I didn't ask you, where in Jamaica actually did you grow up?
I grew up near Camberton Gardens. I grew up in the behind Camberton Gardens that is called Bastard Cedar Walk.
I know where it is.
Yes, people refer to that area as Petersfield, but that's not real Petersfield. It's Bastard Cedar Walk. Same place where the church is, the Wesleyan Holiness Church that Reverend McAtee was once the pastor of. That community, that's where I grew up. And I went to Petersfield Secondary School, which is now the Petersfield High School.
Yes.
I went there. I was the head boy for that school. Head boy for that school. And I grew up in church. I know myself from day one. Just church. Church, school, home. Church, school, home. From day one. always involved, always active in church. Ever since as a child, you know, not even as a child, you know, called YMWB, Young Missionary Workers Band. And I was a part, I was the boy of the year for Western Jamaica District for the Wesleyan Holiness Church. Yes, I participated. And I was very involved in, as I said, at the youth level when I reached that age for youth level, very involved in men ministry. And then, of course, in pastoral ministry as time progresses in the Wesleyan Church. So I am just grateful to God, you know, very grateful to God.
For the journey.
As a matter of fact, as a child, I was the first to be at church. And even as a young person, and I was never late for church.
Whoa.
Here for church.
My parents used to have to get us up every Sunday. They said, go, come to church, go to church. And you put on your little tight one Sunday best to come out there, you know. Our sister Jillian is hailing you up here. She's saying, yes, Nadine is a good storyteller.
Hi, Jillian. Hi, Jillian.
Like to say hello to everybody who is actually in the live feed at the moment.
Everybody, you know, glad that you were able to join us.
Yes, we are speaking to, you know, Executive Pastor Orville Williams, man, who I'm proud to say is my cousin-in-law.
We take off the in-law, cousin.
In-law. We are brothers on a different plane.
Yes.
Well, before we wrap up, Pastor, I would like you to pray for us. Going through this, as you know, this trivialous times and in this pandemic, you know, I'd like you to just offer your prayers for all the people who have gone through it, who have suffered with it, and the people who have passed on with it.
Yes. Just before I pray,
yes,
I'm gonna send that message to you that I shared.
Okay.
I want everybody who are listening to understand that this pandemic, not the end of life, though, as Roger or Brother Roger just said, some people, as a result of this virus, some people lost their life.
Yes.
But this is not the end of the world.
No.
Better days are ahead of us. A matter of fact, is out of this pandemic, this virus, that Roger and I get to even reconnect more.
Yes.
Out of this pandemic, Roger get to be more creative. His creative skills and his creative self is coming to fruition. It's that Roger probably need to understand that my vision for this that he's doing on Instagram is going to go wide. He's not just going to have a small audience, but a large audience, and he can't stop. You know, he is out of this. I'm sure that he probably realized that he has the personality and he has the tenacity and the creativity to even be what we would have called a radio personality. And so I would encourage him to say, continue on that and do well, expand your board and do well with it.
Thank you very much.
I pray that people to understand this, that use this time and observe the ways of God. And that's what Roger is doing. When he engage people in different conversation, even if it's not Christian conversation, as you'd call it, it is still observing the ways of God. And
we're timing out.